The misunderstanding about effort. Beloved ones, from the very beginning of your life, you have been trained in a misunderstanding. You have been taught that effort is life, that struggle is virtue, that tension is strength. The more tense you are, the more serious you are considered, or relaxed person is immediately suspected. People think he is lazy, irresponsible, or escaping life. This conditioning has gone so deep that even when you are resting, your mind remains tense. Even in sleep, you are preparing for tomorrow's struggle. I want you to see this clearly. This is not the way existence functions. This is the way society functions. Society needs tense people because tense people are controllable. They are always afraid of losing, afraid of failing, afraid of not becoming something. Existence, however, is not interested in your becoming. It is interested in your being. I have lived my whole life without effort in the way you understand effort. And people are shocked by this. They ask, how did you speak so much? How did you create so much? How did you attract so many people without planning? My answer is simple. I never fought life. I listened to it. When you listen, action arises naturally. When you struggle, action becomes heavy. Look at nature. Have you ever seen a flower trying to bloom? Have you ever seen the sun make an effort to rise? The river does not push itself forward. It relaxes into the path of least resistance. And because of that relaxation, it reaches the ocean. You, on the other hand, are swimming upstream, exhausted, and still wondering why life feels so hard. Effort creates friction. Friction creates heat. Heat creates exhaustion. This is why modern humanity is tired, anxious, and restless. You have mistaken tension for intensity. True intensity is calm. True power is silent. A relaxed person has more energy than 1,000 tense people because his energy is not leaking through anxiety. When I say relax, do not misunderstand me. I am not telling you to stop living. I am telling you to stop fighting. There is a vast difference. When you fight, you divide yourself. One part pushes, another resists. This inner conflict drains you. Relaxation brings wholeness. Suddenly your energy moves in one direction. The moment you understand this, something fundamental shifts. You stop asking, how much effort is needed? You start asking, how much trust is needed? And trust is not something you do. Trust is something you allow. It happens when you stop interfering. Remember this, beloved ones. Existence has never failed anyone who was relaxed. It only fails those who try to dominate it. Drop your seriousness. Drop your inner pressure. Learn the art of effortless living. This is the first door. Without this, nothing else opens. Why relaxation is power. Beloved ones, the world has confused power with aggression. You have been taught that power means control, domination, and constant movement. That is why leaders shout, armies march, and minds never rest. But this is borrowed power. It is fragile. It depends on others remaining weak. True power does not need to prove itself. It simply is. Relaxation is the highest form of power because it is rooted in confidence. Only a deeply confident being can relax. The insecure must remain tense, alert, guarded. Relaxation is not something you practice. It is something that happens when fear disappears. And fear disappears only when you trust existence. I have watched my own body, my own mind. When I was young, I tried discipline. I tried methods. I tried control. They gave me sharpness, but they did not give me peace. The day I dropped all effort, I became available. Available to silence. Available to insight. Available to life. And from that availability, words flowed, clarity flowed, and people felt it without me saying anything. A relaxed mind is dangerous to society. It cannot be manipulated easily. It is not in a hurry to become something. It enjoys what is. This enjoyment is power. A relaxed person can sit silently and still influence the atmosphere of a room. You have felt this. When someone enters who is deeply at ease, the whole space changes. No argument, no force, just presence. Tension contracts your being. Relaxation expands it. When you are tense, your breath is shallow. your thoughts repetitive, your vision narrow. When you relax, breathing deepens, thoughts slow down, perception becomes vast. Suddenly solutions appear without searching, creativity arises without effort, love flows without fear. Understand this. Relaxation does not make you weak. It removes unnecessary resistance. Resistance is what wastes energy. Power is not about having more energy. It is about not leaking energy. A relaxed person conserves life force naturally. That is why meditators shine. Not because they add something, but because they stop losing everything. I remember speaking for hours without preparation. People thought I was exerting great effort. They could not see that I was simply resting in awareness. Words were coming. I was not bringing them. When you are relaxed, you become a channel. And the universe loves channels. It avoids controllers. Look at your own life. Whenever you forced something, did it really bring joy? And whenever something happened effortlessly, did it not feel graceful? That grace is power. That effortlessness is intelligence. So do not try to become powerful. That is another ambition, another tension. Simply relax. Sit silently. Watch your breath. Let go of the inner tightening. Slowly you will feel a strength that does not shout, does not rush, does not compete. It simply supports everything you do. This is real power. And it belongs only to those who are courageous enough to relax. My own experience with letting go, beloved ones. I speak to you not as a philosopher but as one who has lived this truth. I did not arrive at relaxation through theory. I arrived at it through observation of my own life. Very early I saw that whenever I tried to shape life according to my ideas, there was conflict. And whenever I allowed life to move, there was harmony. This realization changed everything. I never had a plan to become a teacher, a mystic or a speaker. In fact, I had no ambition to influence anyone at all. I loved silence, I loved being alone. I loved watching trees, clouds, people, thoughts. And slowly, without any effort on my part, people began to gather. They were not attracted to my words first. They were attracted to my ease. They felt a space around me where nothing was demanded of them. This is something very important to understand. When you are relaxed, you give others permission to relax. And in a world full of tension, this is rare. People are thirsty for it. They may not know what they are seeking, but they recognize it when they encounter it. There were moments when my logical mind questioned this way of living. It would say, should you not plan? Should you not secure the future? Should you not protect yourself? But each time I listened to that voice, life became smaller. And each time I ignored it, life became vast. Slowly trust replaced doubt. I began to see that existence is not against you. It is not indifferent either. It is deeply supportive, if you do not interfere. I did not force discipline upon myself. Discipline arose on its own. I did not seek followers. Companionship came naturally. I did not design teachings. Insights happened spontaneously. When you are relaxed, the right action arises at the right moment, not from thinking, but from attunement. Many people think letting go means losing direction. They are afraid that without control, life will collapse. My experience is exactly the opposite. The more I let go, the more centered I became. The less I decided, the more precise life became. It is as if existence knows better than your mind ever could. I remember days when nothing was planned, and yet everything was fulfilled. Words came when they were needed. Silence came when it was needed. Rest came when it was needed. This is not chaos, this is organic order. It is higher than discipline. It is natural intelligence. So when I say to you, let go, I am not giving advice. I am sharing a lived secret. Do not cling to your ideas of how life should be. Relax your grip. Trust the flow. You will not disappear. You will finally arrive. Desire versus trust. Beloved ones, desire and trust cannot exist together. They are opposite directions of the same energy. Desire moves outward, restless and demanding. Trust moves inward, relaxed and receptive. Desire says, I am incomplete. Trust says, I am whole. Understand this distinction deeply because your entire suffering is rooted here. Desire is always in the future. It cannot live in the present. The present is never enough for desire. It needs more, better, different. That is why desire creates tension. The mind is constantly projecting, comparing, calculating. Even when desire is fulfilled, it immediately gives birth to a new desire. This is not fulfillment. This is addiction. Trust has no future. It lives here and now. Trust is not waiting for something to happen. It is enjoying what is happening. When you trust, you are not against life. You are with it. You breathe with it. You move with it. This movement has grace. I have seen people come to me asking how to manifest their desires. They think existence is a servant, a machine to be manipulated. They want techniques, affirmations, rituals. I tell them gently, the universe does not respond to greed. It responds to gratitude. It does not respond to demand. It responds to openness. Desire is born out of fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of being nobody. Fear of not having enough. Trust is born out of understanding. Understanding that life has already given you more than you can ever count. Just look at your breath. Look at your heartbeat. You are not doing these things, yet they are happening perfectly. When you desire, you are continuously disappointed because existence has its own timing. When you trust, timing disappears. Everything feels right, even waiting. I have waited many times in my life, but I was never impatient. Waiting became a meditation. Nothing was postponed because I was not rushing toward a result. People think desire gives motivation. In reality, desire gives anxiety. Trust gives energy. A trusting person is not lazy. He is alive. He acts, but without inner pressure. His action comes from joy, not from lack. That is why his actions are creative, not compulsive. I am not saying destroy desire. Desire cannot be destroyed. The moment you fight it, you give it energy. Simply see it. Watch how it tightens your body, how it shortens your breath, how it makes your mind noisy. Awareness is enough. Slowly desire loses its grip, and in that space, trust blossoms on its own. Remember this, beloved ones. The universe is not testing you. It is not withholding anything. It is waiting for you to relax your demands. When you drop desire, you do not lose anything. You gain everything. Because then whatever comes is a gift, not a demand fulfilled. This is the alchemy. Desire turns life into a struggle. Trust turns life into a celebration. The art of doing nothing. Beloved ones, the idea of doing nothing frightens you. From childhood you have been told that your worth depends on your actions. Then you are loved complete comitius. If you are not doing something, you feel guilty. Even when you sit silently, your mind starts planning the next move. This is not activity. This is restlessness. Doing nothing, as I use the phrase, has nothing to do with outer inactivity. It is an inner state. You can be working, walking, speaking and still be doing nothing. And you can be sitting silently and still be doing too much. The art of doing nothing means the absence of inner interference. Actions happen, but there is no doer inside claiming ownership. Life moves, but you are not pushing it. I discovered this slowly. In meditation, I saw that the moment I tried to meditate, nothing happened. The moment I dropped the effort, meditation happened. Silence came not because I invited it, but because I stopped preventing it. This is a very strange law, but it is the fundamental law of existence. The harder you try, the farther you go. When you do something with effort, you are always divided. One part commands, another obeys. This creates tension. In doing nothing, there is no division. There is only flow. Energy moves naturally, intelligently, economically. Nothing is wasted. Look at the body. Your heart is doing nothing, yet it beats. Your lungs are doing nothing, yet they breathe. If you try to control them, disorder arises. Life functions best when you trust it. The same is true for your mind and your destiny. People ask me, how do I stop doing? I tell them, do not try to stop. That is again doing. Simply watch. Watching is not doing. Watching is awareness. When you watch your thoughts, they slow down. When you watch your breath, it deepens. When you watch your actions, they become graceful. Doing nothing is the highest form of action because it allows the whole to act through you. Then you are no longer small. You are not acting from memory, habit, or fear. You are acting from the present moment. This is why actions born out of doing nothing are always right. Not morally right, but existentially appropriate. I have spoken to millions and yet I have never prepared a single word. People find this difficult to believe, but preparation belongs to the mind. Presence belongs to life. When you are present, the needed words appear. When you are absent, even prepared words fall dead. The art of doing nothing is surrender without defeat. You are not giving up life, you are giving up resistance. And when resistance disappears, life reveals its generosity. Remember this, beloved ones. Do not hurry, do not push. Sit sometimes and do nothing at all, not even meditation. Just sit, just be. Slowly you will feel a tremendous energy gathering within you. Not restless, not aggressive, but silent and powerful. From this silence, everything meaningful is born. Why things manifest naturally. Beloved ones, manifestation is not something you do. It is something that happens when you are in tune with existence. The universe is constantly creating. It has never stopped. Only you are rushing. And because of that rushing, you miss the rhythm. When you are out of rhythm, life feels accidental. When you are in rhythm, life feels magical. People come to me asking, how can I manifest what I want? The Mother Palava want because they think manifestation is a technique. Techniques belong to the mind. Existence does not understand technique. It understands harmony. When your inner climate is peaceful, the outer world responds. When your inner climate is chaotic, the outer world reflects chaos. I have never manifested anything deliberately, yet everything I needed came. Not because I was special, but because I was available. Availability is the key. When you are available, you are open. When you are open, life can enter you. A closed house receives no guests. Look at nature. A seed does not shout its desire to become a tree. It simply relaxes into the soil. It trusts the darkness. And one day, without any effort, a sprout appears. The right rain comes. The right sun comes. This is not coincidence. This is coordination. The whole participates when the part does not interfere. You interfere constantly. You doubt, you worry, you calculate. These are forms of violence against life. They say, I do not trust you. When you drop this violence, life begins to cooperate. Then things come not according to your ego, but according to your growth. Understand this carefully. What comes naturally is always right for you. What you force may satisfy a desire, but it will not nourish your being. Existence is more interested in your awakening than in your comfort. When you relax, it gives you exactly what will help you grow. I have seen people receive great success and collapse under its weight. I have also seen people remain unknown and flower inwardly. Manifestation without awareness is dangerous. That is why the universe waits. When you are relaxed and conscious, it trusts you with more. When things manifest naturally, there is no pride. There is no pride. You are grateful, not arrogant. You know it did not happen because of you. It happened through you. This gratitude keeps the flow alive. Pride blocks it. You ask, when will it happen? I tell you, the question itself delays it. Time is not the issue. Readiness is. When you are ready, it has already happened. When you are not, even if it comes, you will miss it. So stop asking for signs. Stop checking results. Live fully in this moment. Be joyful for no reason. This joy is a signal to the universe that you are aligned, and the universe responds immediately to alignment. Beloved ones, manifestation is not magic. It is simply life functioning without your resistance. Relax and let existence do what it has always been doing. Drop fear and waiting ends. Ends. Beloved ones, fear is the shadow of misunderstanding. You are afraid because you think life can betray you. You are afraid because you believe tomorrow is uncertain and dangerous. But look deeply. Has life ever really been against you? Or have your own expectations created the wounds? Fear creates waiting, and waiting creates suffering. When you are afraid, you are always waiting for something to happen or not happen. Your mind is stuck in anticipation. You are never here. Fear pulls you into the future, and the future is imaginary. That is why fear is unreal, yet its effects are very real. I have watched fear in myself. Whenever it arose, it was never about the present moment. In the present, everything was always okay. The fear was always about what might happen. When I stayed with the present, fear dissolved on its own. Not by fighting it, but by seeing through it. Waiting is simply fear, wearing a polite face. You say, I am waiting patiently. But inside there is tension, there is hope mixed with anxiety. True patience has no waiting in it. It is enjoyment. It is relaxed presence. When you trust existence, waiting disappears. Not because things happen immediately, but because time no longer bothers you. Whether it comes today or tomorrow, you remain fulfilled. This fulfillment itself attracts the right moment. Fear makes you small. It contracts your breath, your body, your consciousness. In fear you become defensive. You close your doors. Life cannot enter a closed being. Relaxation is courage. It is the courage to remain open even when you do not know the outcome. People ask me, how do I drop fear? Again they want a method. Fear is not dropped by method. Fear is dropped by understanding. See its root. The root is mistrust. Somewhere, you believe life is hostile. This belief must be questioned. I have walked into unknown situations many times without fear. Without fear, not because I was brave, but because I was not imagining disaster. Imagination is the factory of fear. The more imaginative you are in the wrong direction, the more you suffer. Drop the habit of projecting. Stay with what is. When fear arises, sit with it. Do not run. Do not suppress. Watch it like a cloud passing through the sky. You will be surprised. The moment you stop feeding it, it disappears. And when fear disappears, waiting turns into celebration. You are no longer counting days. You are living moments. You are not asking when will it happen. You are saying whatever happens is enough. Beloved ones, life does not punish relaxed people. It supports them. Fear delays everything because it says, I am not ready. Relaxation says, I trust you. Drop fear, not by force but by clarity, and you will see. The end of fear is the end of waiting. What remains is joy without reason. My final message to you, beloved ones, I have spoken much, but remember, truth is not in my words. My words are only fingers pointing to the moon. Do not cling to them. Listen, absorb, and then forget. What must remain is not language but a taste. The taste of relaxation, the taste of trust, the taste of being at ease with existence. Life is not asking you to become extraordinary. It is asking you to be authentic. When you try to become extraordinary, you create tension. When you allow yourself to be natural, extraordinariness happens on its own. I never tried to be different. I simply refused to be false. And in that refusal, a great freedom arose. I want you to understand one thing very clearly. Existence is not in a hurry. It has eternity. Only the mind is impatient. Only the ego wants results. The universe works silently, slowly, and perfectly. When you relax, you synchronize with this vast patience. Then even small moments feel infinite. You ask, what should I do now? I say, nothing special. Eat when you are hungry. Sleep when you are tired. Love when love arises. Be silent when silence calls you. Do not impose. Respond. Response is intelligent. Reaction is mechanical. I have lived my life without regret because I never postponed living. I did not sacrifice today for tomorrow, and tomorrow always took care of itself. This is the secret. If today is lived totally, tomorrow will be beautiful. If today is poisoned by anxiety, tomorrow will repeat the same pattern. Do not make life a project. It is not something to be completed. It is a dance. Dance it, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes joyful, sometimes silent, but always present. Presence is the only prayer that existence understands. There will be moments when doubt returns. Do not be afraid of them. Doubt is natural for the mind. Just do not let doubt become your master. Let awareness be the master. Sit silently, watch, breathe, and the clouds will pass. I leave you with no belief, no doctrine, no discipline. I leave you with a simple invitation. Relax, trust, allow. If you can remember only this, it is enough. Beloved ones, life loves those who do not interfere. Become like a child again, curious, open, playful, and you will see the universe has been waiting for you to stop struggling. Relax, and let existence reveal its gifts.